Jones dropped back deep for the top. Spencer Pettit set to kick it away for the Grizzlies.
Pettit, the weapon, needs to kick these deep, and finally he does as Jones nowhere to go. It'll be an automatic touchback, and that was something we talked about at our typical pregame meeting before we came to the stadium. They actually have gotten some kickoff returns, and that's one thing we could mitigate here tonight for the Glacier.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of like when we were playing Bothell. You didn't want to kick it to any of those guys, and same with like Jackson. You know, being able to kick it 2-3 yards deep in the end zone is huge.
If you went away and saw it was 21-0, the Tomahawks, well, it's now Glacier Peak with 11-play, 75-yard drive, a 7-yard pass play complete from Corwin to Nick Allen, and it's 7 points. Now we'll see if Glacier Peak can stop him. Luton hands it off the left side, and it's Stell watching his blockers in front. He'll get 4 or 5.
Yeah, and he had about 5 blockers in front of him on that one.
Boy, everybody was pulling that time. Dion Stell, number 3. They just have so many running backs coming in tonight. 27 carries for 289 yards, averaging 10+ a carry, Tim.
Well, and they're probably averaging about that tonight. They've got some really big runs that have been padding those stats.
2nd and 5 for the Tomahawks. Breaks a tackle. He'll get a first down, still going. And Killian Page, boy, he's not huge, just like Joyner, only 5'8", 175, but he's tough.
Seems like all these guys are extremely difficult to tackle. They're getting hit. You know, they're getting hit right at the line of scrimmage, and they're just able to squirm out of there for 5, 6, 10 yards or whatever it is. Even Jake Luton's hard to tackle.
He is 6'6".
He's probably the slowest one back there, and he's just as difficult to tackle.
1st and 10 now for Marysville-Pilchuck on the 35-yard line. They fake it. Now they go over to Tro. Great tackle. Trying to see who that was. Is that Zach Peterson?
I think it was.
Or Ian Black we're seeing. No gain on the play.
Again, they've been doing good all night on the 1st and 2nd downs.
Logan Coleman, number 9 on the left side, next to Neil, the Freightliner Drew Liner. And Mo Fafita up there. And on the right side, Scotty Newsom along with Todd Elvig not in there. They're switching out. Empty set, 2nd and 5. Get it to, no, he keeps it. Luton again. Another big run, and Austin Hines has to go low for the big 6'6" senior, but he gets all the way into Glacier Peak territory to the 48. That's the 2nd time Luton has got him.
Yeah, and Luton, it's not like he's a speed burner. He's big. He had a great hole there and got into the secondary, and great pickup.
17 yards, Tim, for Jake Luton. Boy, oh boy, he does not run often coming into this game. They must have saw something, but it's kind of a read. I don't know if he can pull it out there and if he sees a big hole.
I think that's what it is, and their offensive credit, Marysville-Pilchuck's offensive line. They're getting a good push.
1st and 10 now for the guys in white. It is Stell on the far left side, the far side, and that's Justin Guffey hanging on him. Knocks out a couple Tomahawk coaches. Hope they're okay. But not before he gets a gain of 3.
Oh, is that all they're going to give him? Okay.
Looks like it. All they're going to get it. So, Dion Stell, Killian Page, Hunter Tro.
Well, the key for Glacier Peak right here with 5 minutes left is they need a stop here, big time.
Got to get the defense off the field here. Luton back to pass, flings it across.
I think it's
incomplete. Intended receiver was Dante Fields. Nice play by Glacier Peak, broken up there by Wong.
So 3rd and 7. But again, Marysville that treats this just like 1st down or 2nd down.
They have been a 3rd down conversion machine just like last year. Hope you're enjoying our coverage this year on STSPN of Glacier Peak football. I'll tell you about the exciting news just coming out of our coverage of Wesco basketball. Luton gives it off to Tro. Tro nowhere to go, and Glacier Peak's going to get him down, and they'll stop him. Exactly as you instructed them, Coach Boyle. They did exactly what they needed to do.
Well, now I think they're bringing the punting unit on, which is great because I think he lost 3 on that. They're saying 4th and 10. So I'm sure Steve Hannon's loving life that they're actually not going to go for it here on 4th and 10.
Steve Hannon doing the play calling from up in the booth, a rare thing for him. And
who do we got back there to receive?
They have, see if we can see who that player is in the back. Oh, whistles blew on the snap.
I think it's a false start. I saw the guy on the far side head down the field a little early. Doesn't really hurt them. They can still punt that easily into the 10, 15 yard line.
Spiva also doing the punting duties for Marysville-Pilchuck. Couple Grizzlies back to receive. Looks like Hines on the far side as he gets the punt away. And it's taken by Hines right as he was met by a tomahawk.
Now that, I think, he didn't give him any yardage to field that ball. So I'm surprised a flag didn't come out. Because I was actually thinking they were fighting for the ball there on the reception. He's got to give them 3 feet or 4 feet or whatever it is.
Nick Alonzo there for the Tomahawks. Boy, he almost fielded the ball himself.
I know. That's what I thought. You normally see a flag on that. You got to give them room to field it.
Glacier Peak with a big stop. 4:10 left to go in the second quarter. They are now 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. Branson back, fakes. Now he goes deep.
Open.
He's got a wide open Hines. He got it at the 50 to the 40.
Make a move.
Still chasing. Cuts in the corner. Is he going to get there?
He got it. He got it.
Touchdown, Grizzlies. And the sideline is going nuts. 73-yard pass play. One play. Touchdown, Grizzlies.
And on that, what happened is Corwin fakes a screen to Trey Chambers, and they just sent Hines right down the sideline. He got past his guy, and that was a perfect pass by Branson Corwin. He laid it right on the numbers for him.
Austin, the hands, Hines, pulls it in, crosses the 50, and then it was a foot race, and he outdid Dion Stell.
I think this one might be going to Justin Guffey.
You think they're going to go for 2? Austin Hines there.
Yep.
He does.
Look
He gets
Justin
it.
Guffey.
Gets it, and it's intercepted. But they cannot bring it back. Well done. Well scouted. That was number 18, Alex Gray.
And I saw it coming, so did he, and they've done this play several times this year, so I think Marysville-Pilchuck was ready for that one. So.
Again, Tim,
there's something going on the field, though, so...
If we only had our sideline reporter, Ron Henthorne, but we are missing Mr. Henthorne tonight.
Where are you, Ron?
Ron's down playing golf, I would imagine, in the sunny,
flag down here,
warm temperatures. And we get the call. It's on Marysville-Pilchuck.
So that means if it's on Marysville-Pilchuck,
won't they redo it?
Yeah, but did they actually make a mistake? I think it might have been on Glacier Peak, and they just accidentally.
Okay.
Yeah, because if it was on Marysville-Pilchuck, they'd be back up there kicking the extra point.
Why not go for just get the extra point? Just get 14. You're good. You take a risk. You just left a point on the board. 21-13 is our Seattle Hill Physical Therapy score.
Well, plus you got Spencer Pettit, who's automatic realistically from
He's only missed one this year.
Was it blocked or something?
Yeah, I think it was tipped. But
it was tipped.
Just go for the point.
Yeah, I agree. But, they're not paying us to coach, Scott.
No, they're not. And thank goodness they're not, or else they would lose a lot of games. STSPN is proud to present this winter live streaming basketball. Not only will we be covering Glacier Peak, we've also added to the mix one of the best boys basketball teams in the state, the Jackson Timberwolves, led by Jason Todd and Mr. Kingma. Also, the Snohomish Panthers will be covered. Both boys and girls will be covered. We have 44 regular season games on the schedule. A big, big breakout year for the Snohomish Times Sports Network.
That's a lot of basketball.
Hope to be at a few of those games along with John McClain and Ron Henthorn. Also, some games will be simulcasted on AM 1380 as well. So congratulations to the 5-tool player, Todd Elvig.
The penalty was actually on Glacier Peak, and they're taking it as a 10-yard penalty. They're actually kicking from the 25-yard line.
And that's...
ouch.
That's not good. We'll see who's back to receive for the Tomahawks. He does kind of a squibber. It's touched at the 50. He finally gets a hang of it, and he goes down. The up man taking that ball. Again, that was Gray, number 18.
And he was actually thinking about getting rid of that ball. I don't know if you saw it, kind of was bobbling around back there, and he was thinking about doing something with it.
Again, we're paid. Well, we're not paid, but we're up here. Again, that's a risk reward. I understand. They try and get a hot ball, get it off somebody. You just hate to see this powerful offense with this kind of field position.
Yeah. Now they're giving it to him at the 46-yard line, so 3:49 and a half. No, you'd rather have that back down around the 5 or 10-yard line or 20-yard line, obviously.
1st and 10 for Luton and the gang at the 46. They hand it off to Page. Page up the middle. Gain of 4 right at the 50-yard line. Ron Henthorn texting me. He's glad he started tuning in because that is the good luck charm.
Ron's the good luck charm. Okay, well, stay tuned then, Ron.
I want to thank everybody. We broke our live unique viewer record last week. Over 4,100, I believe, live unique visitors and viewers. 2nd and 6. Luton back to pass now, getting pressured. He finally goes down. It's Ian Black and big number 56, Hensley.
Wow, and that's exactly what they need. The defense needs a little shot in the arm here, and they've all of a sudden woken up. Now they're looking at what, 3rd and I thought it looks like it's longer than that. Oh yeah, I guess they did have some positive yardage on that.
Carol McKinnon, our guest today in the booth, she's trying to contain herself. It's all right, Carol.
Are you nervous, Carol?
She's
really nervous.
You can hoot and holler. I want to thank Rob Wygant stepping in, going old school on the statistician here today. 3rd and 14, 2:24 left. Hand the ball to Killian, but he's stopped up the middle. Hensley and crew push him back. What a performance by this Glacier Peak defense here late in the second quarter,
and
Tim.
The whole defensive line was in on that. Rose mad about something. Rose on there arguing some point, but either way it's going to be like 3rd. How did they not give him a loss on that one, Scott?
Well, we talk about this every single week. We joked about it the first year. We just thought it was you and I and our poor vision, but they keep spotting the ball very generously.
And I think, bro, that might have been what he's complaining about. It looked like he lost some yardage on that.
White hat.
So I think we got a timeout on the field here.
And saying the official clock, they want to put it to 2:25. With a timeout on the field, we'll take a timeout. Glacier Peak showing a little life here. 2:25 left, down 21-13. You're watching Glacier Peak football on the Snohomish Times Sports Network. The MP Tomahawks have to punt for the second time. It gets it off Spiva. Not a good one. Bounces, takes the Glacier Peak bounce all the way to the 26-7 yard line.
I think it took a Marysville-Pilchuck
Or
bounce.
did I say Glacier?
Yeah.
Marysville-Pilchuck bounce. 217.
Yeah, he got a really good bounce because it wasn't really a good punt.
No, did it drop almost at the 35 or so?
I think even more like the 40.
Wow.
It just kept rolling.
2 minutes 17 left to go in this second quarter. Again, Killian Page, number 2 for the Tomahawks, over 100 yards, 105 yards just in the first half.
Glacier Peak could actually tie it up here going into halftime, and that would be a huge victory for Glacier Peak, being down 21-0 in the first quarter.
Last series, a 73-yard touchdown pass for Hines. He hands it off to Darling up the middle, and he's crushed immediately. Maybe to the line of scrimmage. They'll say he's at the 26.
Well, with 2 minutes left, I think you're going to have to get a little more creative than that to get down the field. 2
more timeouts left for Glacier Peak. Branson Corwin now, 2nd and 10. Rolling to the right. Fires. Is it caught? It's caught by Hines. And it is at the 40.
Great catch by Hines. And the other thing is Branson Corwin's rolling out, throwing that on a sprint. So actually a good little play there for GP.
13-yard reception. Austin Hines, the leading receiver tonight. Hines, I like to say, having a good one. 1st and 10 now at the Glacier Peak 40. Berg in motion. Goes back to throw. Going to Trey Chambers. Ball was still in the air. Finally hits the ground. Incomplete. A lucky play.
Darn near bounced into the cornerback of Marysville-Pilchuck, and I think he just didn't know it was sitting right in front of his hands. Because if he would have been paying attention, that thing would have been right in his paws.
3 MP players right around. He tried to thread the needle into Trey Chambers, and Chambers got his hands on it. But it leaves him at 2nd and 10. The clock at 1 minute, 42 seconds left to go in this first half. Now Branson Corwin. Back, rolling to the near side. Going to be chased. Going to go down at the 30. Could not get outside of Dante Fields for Marysville-Pilchuck.
And Branson's got to get rid of that. In a minute 30 left in the half, you got to get. That's a 10-yard loss he got on that. So he's got to throw that out of bounds or something.
Coach Rowe taking his second timeout. Good time for us to tell you. We want to thank Kathy Salvadolina, and stay tuned for our Kathy Salvadolina post-game show. You can always find out more about this Snohomish real estate expert at kathysalvo.com or give it a call, 425-350-0020. Mongos, love Mongos, eat at mongos.com. Also want to thank Muscle Milk this year for coming in and sponsoring our program.
And a shout out to our freshman, was it Trey Brown, that's down at Harborview, had an injury in a football game, and I think they're listening to us down there.
Hello. Yep, we heard pretty serious. Actually, was at Harborview, but word we got right before the game is he's doing great. He's unstable. He should be checking out soon. So best wishes to Trey Brown and his family. And we're back to action. 3rd and 20 now for GP. On their own 30.
That one hurt.
That hurt bad. 10-yard loss on the previous play. Now here's Berg in motion. Darling in the backfield. Fakes it to Darling. Back to pass. Nowhere to go. Now he's going to get wrapped up and has to just go down. Big number 33, Cody Parks, with a nice play there for the Tomahawks.
Now, unfortunately, now you're probably going to have Marysville-Pilchuck take a timeout, which I think they just did. Now you're going to give them the ball back with about a minute and 20 seconds left, and that's not exactly what you wanted to do at the end of the half.
4th and 27 to keep this drive alive.
Yeah, and in that situation, if you're not going to be able to score some points, you definitely want to chew up the rest of the clock.
Fred's Rivertown Ale House. Stay tuned for our Fred's Rivertown Ale House halftime show. Fred's, we love it down there. Hopefully they have the game on tonight. Over 50 custom brews on tap. Located, of course, in historic downtown Snohomish. Want to say hello, everybody, to Fred's Rivertown Ale House. Stay tuned for that. We're going to catch you up a little bit more on some Wesco scores and everything else that's going around the league. Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle, along with our special guest tonight, Carol McKinnon. She's waving to everybody.
If you could see her, she'd be waving at you.
That's right. Neil, the Freightliner, Drewliner's mother, happy to have her up in the booth. Spencer Pettit gets the snap, gets it off. Jones watches it bounce. Now that takes a Grizzly bounce.
He actually should have fielded that. He made a mistake there. He could have easily had plenty of time to field that, and that lost him about 10, 12 yards of field position.
With a minute 14, they will be in good position there at the 36-yard line. They have been prolific so far.
Now, Glacier Peak blew an opportunity there. Could have tied it up going into halftime, and now they're gonna be back against the wall here to keep them from scoring.
If you're just joining and didn't hear, Austin Joyner not playing tonight. Luton hands it off on the left side to Stell. He carries it out. Wong finally drags him out at the 44.
And he can get around that corner quick, and he's hard to tackle at the same time.
A senior, 5'10", 175. Dion Stell having a tremendous year, even in the shadow of Austin Joyner. Again, Austin not playing tonight, injured. Over 1,000 yards this year, over 2,000 yards on the rushing yards last year. Luton now over the middle, wide open. Number 17, a first down and more at the 43, still on his feet. That's Corey Davis with the catch.
Probably going to have to burn a timeout here, I'm thinking. I think that's what they did. Yep, timeout Marysville-Pilchuck.
They're going to mark him at the 42 of Glacier Peak. Timeout on the field. We'll take a quick timeout. You're watching Glacier Peak football only on the Snohomish Times Sports Network. We're back with 59 seconds left to go in this first half. Jake Luton, the big senior's in trouble, and now he's going down for the second time tonight.
And they're going to have to burn their last timeout, so he loses about 7 or 8 yards, and to boot, they're going to have to probably take a timeout, or maybe they're just content to let that run out.
Logan Coleman there to wrap him up, but he had friends.
Well, they got time for one play unless they use their timeout here.
2nd and 17. Ball on the Glacier Peak 49. Luton in the shotgun. Stell fakes the handoff. Luton goes up the gut, and again he's got room. Luton hands, trying to get him, finally grabs his wrist until help is on the way.
And I'm seeing that it looks like they're going to give him forward progress and give him the first down. Got all the way down. The clock ran all the way down to 15 seconds.
Jake Luton putting on a rushing clinic tonight, Tim. I have not seen him run the ball like this.
Well,
a 19-yard pickup.
The problem is Glacier Peak's focusing on all these really quick running backs on this wing T, and it opens up Luton for kind of like almost like a read option, so to speak, you know.
And poor Austin Hines is the one to greet him in the secondary.
And he's when he's that
6'6",
big.
6'6", yeah, and Hines is 5'10". That time a big, long, stiff arm by Luton.
They are moving the chains, Scott, so it is a first down. 15 seconds, so they're out of timeouts. So no timeouts. So realistically, I don't know that they got time to run 2 plays unless they do a quick pass out of bounds or something. But if there's something happens where they get tackled in the field, I think the clock's going to run out.
Ball on the 31-yard line.
So you're probably going to look for Luton to go into the end zone here. Then they'd have time for 2 plays.
Chris Jones already with 1 touchdown through the air. They've hurt the Glacier Peak defense already this first half through the air. See if they're going to do it one more time. Under center is Luton. Motion still. Back to pass. Flings it out. Gets it wide open. And Kainoa along with a
kept him in bounds.
Great
they're
tackle.
Not going to be able to. They may not be able to get this. Oh, they're stopping to move the chains.
Fields with a reception now on the 15-yard line. They'll hurry up.
The chain gain was slow on that one.
Luton pushing his center down. He just drops the ball, spikes it with 6.9 left on the board.
I don't know what was going on with the chain gang. They were just sitting there. ended up saving MP about 4 or 5 seconds there.
Still 2nd and 10.
Now
they're at the 15.
They're going to kick a field goal, I think.
6.9 seconds to go. Again, Ryan Spiva, the great soccer player for the Tomahawks, with only 1 field goal this year, but Spiva's out. Corey Davis to hold. And this a 32-yard attempt. Glacier Peak has blocked more than 1 this year. The snap, the hold is down, the kick is up, and it is good.
Oh.
Clock is at 1.2 seconds.
It looks like they had the penetration there to block these kicks, and it's almost like looks like they let up or something.
So Ryan Spiva hits it a 32-yarder, and our Seattle Hill Physical Therapy score, Marysville-Pilchuck 24, Glacier Peak 13. And we're going to stay right here with 1.2 seconds left. Make sure you stay tuned for all the fun and tomfoolery that the Fred's Rivertown Ale House halftime show always brings. We will take a break. We want to thank Dan Church, good friend of ours. The Church family pitched in tonight running some camera. We got Todd, the 5-tool player, Elvig down there as well, running the board. Say it takes a village, and a lot of our village left.
We got Carol running the board in here.
We do. Carol doing the audio work. Rob Wygant doing a great job on stats. They can't keep us down, Tim Boyle. Not STSPN.
They tried. Half our crew just left us this week. Half, more than half.
Ryan Spiva now on to kick off. Back for the Grizzlies again. 1.2 seconds left. And this one's on the ground. That's just covered up at the 34-yard line.
That will do it.
And that's Deathlison, 89. That's going to do it for the first half. Again, they scored quickly, did the Grizzlies, on a 73-yard pass play by Austin Hines, so you just never know. Stay tuned.
We get the ball back, I believe.
That's right.
So we will come back a couple minutes before halftime and share some thoughts, share some stats, and give you our perspective, whether you want it or not.
From downtown Snohomish Live, Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle, Snohomish Times Sports Network. It's halftime. Marysville-Pilchuck 24, Glacier Peak 13. Stay with us. We'll see you for the start of the second half.